guys, and welcome to yet another episode of Heart to Heart. So, in today's episode, I have a special guest with me who happens to be a friend. Aside from that, she is a multi-talented human being, and you will know why I'm saying that. So, with me today, I have Bee Chanda, Bwalya Chanda, and baby girl, you're welcome.
Thank you, Shiloh.
So, in a minute, give us a brief background of who Bee is, of who Bwalya. Should I call Bwalya Bee? Anywho.
Any you feel comfortable with. Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Bwalya Chanda, also known as Bee Chanda. I am currently in my 4th year doing international economics at the People's Friendship University of Russia. Yeah, what else do I have to say about myself? I love rapping. I love writing songs. I love sleeping. I love eating too.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I think I like the part that says you like eating.
I love food.
I've seen you.
I'd rather spend my money. You know, I'd rather spend my money on food than swag. You know.
Okay. So before we start, or before we dive into the conversation, I would like us, to break the ice a little.
Okay.
To break the ice a little. Okay. And with that, I have questions for you, honey.
Bring them on.
This is called the fire round. Yes, and it's very fast.
Okay.
Okay, so let me start. What's your favorite type of music?
R&B.
Okay, that's number one. Number 2, what is one thing that you... Let me start again. Number 2, what is one thing that you regret sending... Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is one thing that you regret spending money on? Fast. The clock is ticking.
Unnecessary food. I can't pinpoint.
Okay. 3. Finish the phrase. The way to my heart is...
Through food. Simple.
Okay. Food. Number 4. Where do you prefer to go on a first date? Where do you prefer to go on a first date?
To a restaurant.
Can I ask why?
It's food. Okay. Listen, that shows that I haven't been on many dates. That's why.
Okay. Shall we continue?
Let's go.
Let's go on. Number 5. What were you afraid of as a child?
Ooh.
Tricky.
Very tricky. There's so many things I was afraid of. Afraid of being yelled at. I don't like it. Mom and dad. Anybody. Mom and dad. I don't like. I was afraid of being yelled at, basically, or getting in trouble. That's the word.
Okay.
Getting in trouble.
Okay. Because of the repercussions that followed, right?
Exactly. A good whooping.
By who?
Mom.
And dad?
Sometimes, if he beats you up, it means you definitely made a mistake.
Okay. So now we're going to the next round called either or. Are you ready for this question?
I'm ready.
Okay, honey. Let's start. Number 1. Do you learn by writing or watching things? Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Do you learn by watching or by doing?
I learn by doing.
You learn by doing. Okay. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
What time do you wake up in the morning?
I wake up at 11 or 12.
And why is that?
Because I was up all night.
What time do you go to bed?
At 5 or 6.
Okay. I understand. I do understand. Number 3. Do you prefer social time or time alone?
Time alone.
Oh, really? Can I follow up? Like, why is that?
I love being in my own space. I just prefer it that way because for the most part, I feel like I've been the type that's mostly social, or I seem to be social, but I enjoy being in my own space, having my own time to think, do what I want, talk to myself, do my own thing, and not really think of the other person or the other people. I just prefer it that way.
Okay, that's lovely. Love or friendship?
Eh, love or friendship?
Yes, honey, you can't have both. You can only have one.
Love. Love.
Okay. Are you romantic? Are you a romantic lover?
I think
Are you a
I'm
lover
not.
lover?
I suck at it. I try.
Okay. Successful rap career or successful businesswoman?
Hmm. Successful rap career.
And why is that though?
I've wanted to do music for the longest time and see myself achieve this one particular thing. That's the only thing I've achieved. I feel like I've achieved different things, and this is the last step. And if I achieve it, then I've achieved everything. There'll be businesses out of it, there'll be deals out of it, there'll be several opportunities out of it.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Oh, I love how you've elaborated that point because for me, I would go with successful businesswoman.
I know.
And why is that? Because I'm looking at it from a business perspective. Like I
Okay.
can make my rap career into a business.
I get
So
it.
I can handle it from that aspect. Anyhow, we are different people, and I love how honest you were when
Okay.
answering these questions.
Thank
So you're welcome, baby. So to dive into our conversation, can you give us a brief background of who Bwalya Chanda is?
Bwalya Chanda.
Yeah, Bwalya Chanda, the individual and not the artist, because you mentioned earlier that you are an artist.
Okay. Bwalya Chanda is a young lady, we can say, that was born into a family of, should I say 8 or 6? We're 6 kids. Is it family of 8, family of 6?
Family of 6 kids.
Family of 6
Plus
kids.
mom and dad making 8.
Okay, so into a family of 8. Yeah?
A family of 6 kids plus mom and dad.
Okay. 8. I'm a girl or young lady born into a family of 6. Yeah. I am the oldest for the past 20 something years. I'll not reveal. If you know, you know. That's cool. That's fine by me. Do you, but I know I'm 22. Okay, so born into a family of 6, firstborn, a lot of responsibilities. Yeah. You need to lead by example. You're a deputy parent. Yeah. I've basically lived a life knowing that there are people behind me looking up to me. And even if they weren't, the setup or the way I was brought up by my parents was in a manner to lead by example. That's one. Yeah. Be humble. Be appreciative of life, even in the smallest manner. I've learned to be patient. I think I get that from the fact that I have siblings. Yeah, kids. Oh my God. Kids are a job, but through them, I learned to be responsible, patient. I do not react immediately to certain things that may be offensive, that maybe other people find offensive, uncomfortable. In that moment in time, I have to, how can I put it? For the most part, it's like the emotions are covered by a wall. Okay. That's how, I can't say I've been raised, but that's how it's supposed to be for me. Okay. And that's how it is at home. You need to be strong. In whatever that you do,
You have to be strong.
you have to be strong. It won't always be easy. I can say I'm a friendly person. I can say I love to get to know people, but I'm shy.
You are?
I think I am.
Really? Are you?
That's the thing. I struggle on the inside.
Oh, okay.
Like, even when we first started talking, in my mind, there's always like, does she like me? Am I talking too much? Maybe we won't click like that.
Really?
I don't know how I'm supposed to talk to this person. That goes on in my mind.
Yeah.
Even when I meet someone on the street, someone that I know, I feel like I would bypass you if I could, but I can't because I have to greet you. I don't know why that's there. So I don't even know how I look to the person as they see me. I don't know if I look unapproachable, but I hope I do look approachable. But for me, a lot of emotions are going on in my mind, in my heart, and I just feel, I don't know, I just feel like burying myself in the ground.
A lot is going on.
A lot is going on.
A lot is going on. So you mentioned that you're the first child, right?
Yes.
In a family of 6 siblings and 8 family members.
Exactly.
And that is something that I personally can relate with because I'm the first child. And I'm a deputy parent.
Yes, ma'am.
And I do understand when you talk about working and edifying your level of patience by having siblings.
Exactly.
Honey, that's another level of training there.
There's no room for mistakes necessarily for us.
Yeah, as a first child, right? A lot is required from you. And how has that influenced, like, because as a first child, right, you talked about having responsibilities and, taking up certain roles, maybe in case where your mom or dad was absent, you stepped in or you stepped up. So how has the value that you have picked from those experiences added to you as an individual up till now?
Okay. Yeah. One of the most interesting ones, and that I love about myself and that I learned from my parents, is multitasking. I know we can all say we all multitask, obviously, we all do, but it's just like, it's something to me that's a big deal. I'm able to do so many things at once, and I love to get things done. One thing I learned from my parents is they have this aura in them. They just have this energy in them that they want to get things done by themselves, with or without you. They will forge ahead. And that's what I like about myself. When I'm faced with a challenge, I'll be down for hours, maybe days, but I can't leave it. I can't leave it undone. It's maybe like writing a song. Sometimes you have writer's block, but I love the beat. I know I can make sense out of it. That's what happened with Badiwaso. I started writing it, just quarter of it, but I was blank. I was blank. I was like, this is a banger, but there are no lyrics. I took some time out, just thought about it, and I'm like, I have to finish it. I have to finish, I have to give it my all. I love the fact that I can multitask. I love the fact that at the end of the day, I want to get things done. I want to see things through. I don't want to leave them untouched.
So this brings me back to something that you mentioned earlier on about taking up responsibility. Guess it's just something that, when you have had such an experience as a deputy parent, you're forced to grow up.
Yes.
You're forced to do what you have to do to actually show up and perform and get it done with. But aside from that, you talked about how strong you are and sometimes how you need to forge ahead without necessarily, without breaking down, if I can say so. How did that affect you negatively? Because you have emotions, baby girl, and when you need to process something, but because you have to get this done, how, you push them aside and you're just like, I'll come back to them later. And so you push. before you know it, you're breaking down.
It's true. It's very true.
How did you manage that?
How did I manage
The how did you tackle the negative aspect of being strong, if I can say so?
At the end of the day, I don't want to feel like I didn't try. Even though I've put in my all, maybe I'm too harsh on myself. But for me, with every challenge I face, and when I look back at it, there's always the need for improvement. I am proud of so many things, but the thought of like, I didn't try, I didn't give it my best, I just let it go. I feel like if not me, then who? If I don't see it through, who will? Who's going to see it the way I want it to be seen? Who's going to understand what was in my mind, how I visioned it? So that's what I feel like gets me back on track. I need to see it through. I have to see it through. I can't just let it go.
So you don't stay depressed, if I can say. Maybe
I do for some days, maybe days, hours. This is the part where even I'm not eating, then you know it is bad.
Yeah, so tackling it, you always remind yourself of why you started, right? But do you ever give yourself time to process the emotions surrounding the circumstance or the situation that made you get to that point?
Yes, I do. I really do, actually. And it's good to meditate in case I find myself in a similar situation. So I have had moments, despite wanting to. I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but sometimes you're running away from the problem. You're running away from the problem. You don't want to address it, but it's right there. And the more you ignore it, from past experience, the more I ignore the situation, it will come back knocking at your door and harder. I didn't look at how I was feeling in this time when there was just some tiny, maybe event to participate in, and maybe I didn't like the fact that maybe, I don't know, maybe my microphone wasn't turned on or something. I don't know, something so small. I didn't address it. I didn't meditate. Okay, what should I have done in that particular moment? Or maybe I should have, I don't know, maybe talk to the organizer or something, anything tiny. You find yourself in a worse situation. And you didn't process what happened that time. What are you going to do now? I have been in such situations.
You're going to
right?
break down.
You tweeter.
And if you ever got to that point when you broke down, what did you do? Like, did you notice where it started from? And did you start allowing yourself to go through every moment so that you can digest in the moment and not push it for later? Because later on you're going to meet it.
So I never used to. I didn't like it.
Yeah. Sorry, not to cut you short, but that's a habit that a lot of people have, especially people in places of responsibility, like in positions of responsibility or influence or leadership. We have a tendency of doing that.
It's very true.
You can go on.
I did not like processing like this. It's like reliving the horror. Why are we thinking about what happened in the past? Let's move on. But as you keep experiencing or finding yourself in similar situations, it gets bigger. The longer you do not address it, the bigger it becomes. And you find yourself being closed-minded. Like, there's no other way to solve this situation other than the way I'm solving it right now. And then it ends up affecting your performance.
Yeah, it does.
You
It
end up-
literally does. And how you show up when it comes to work and even your relationships.
Exactly. I can sincerely say from that, what's happening currently to me now, which is sincerely sad, is I have the tendency of forgetting.
Really?
Because there's so much to, I guess, tackle or look at. I end up forgetting, I can say some important things. Like, I've forgotten that I was supposed to attend a meeting, and you're in a position as the information secretary.
And you forget it.
When it happened, I was really sad. There was a time I overslept for work. I was supposed to go teach in the morning, and you see the habit of staying up late.
Yeah.
I slept like around 3, 4. I was supposed to be there by 11. I woke up at 12. Yeah. Where do you start from? I love leaving an impression in people that they can rely on me.
Oh, girl.
So
It's been a journey and a half.
It's been a journey and a half. Right now, the habit of forgetting is really what's my problem right now.
Yeah, due to the fact that you have to be strong and you have to show up, and now these are some of the elapses that we go through if you're that type of person, and I can testify because this is something that personally I have gone through, and I needed to make up my mind that if I continue down this road, I am going to crash and I will not be of service to my people. And not only that, but I will not be of service to myself. It's true. Yeah, to myself. So we have spoken about the individual Bee Chanda, and not Bee Chanda, Bwalya Chanda.
Bwalya Chanda.
Bwalya Chanda. And we've gotten to know you a bit. We'll come back to you, baby. Now, let's talk about Bee Chanda, the brand, the artist. Honey, run us through your journey. Where did you start from, baby girl?
I like telling this story. And of all the times I've told this story, it's always written down. So now I can give you the full expression how I feel. Okay. Bee Chanda didn't even start as Bee Chanda. She was just Bee.
Oh, okay.
She was just Bee. Where did that come from? I know maybe she won't remember, but my mom's elder sister, her name is Auntie Emily. I was about to just say her name, but hey, African household. The name Bee came from her. She's the one who called me Bee. I remember it very well in the kitchen when she came over. It started, okay, that's the name part. Then how did rapping come along? I love Eminem.
Even up to date?
Even up to date. Wow. He's zaddy.
If you're listening, you daddy Eminem.
I love Eminem. Yeah. And then eventually came Nicki Minaj. I don't know if they came at the same time, but some of us, we weren't allowed to watch TV, watch music, you know. I don't even know how I came to know of Eminem, but that's all I remember. I'm like, how is this man able to just play with words? I wouldn't understand at that time. I wouldn't understand most of his maybe punchlines, the metaphors he uses. I didn't know most of them for the most part. Yeah. But it was just interesting. Yes, and then I got to know Nicki Minaj, and I'm like, this is a female. She's doing the big things.
She's doing the big things.
She's doing the big things. And before those two, I was more on the singing side.
Girl, can you drop a song?
My voice won't allow it.
Just one.
Anyway, that's why you're here. For vocal training. My voice is... It sounds nice in the shower, I'm very sure.
We all do, girl.
So yeah.
We all do, yeah?
My first musical inspiration, sincerely speaking, is none other than Michael Jackson.
Wow.
That is the person who I guess birthed it all.
Really? What's your favorite song by Michael Jackson?
Thriller. Cause this is Thriller. That was creative. That song was nice. Yeah. Like, it was just interesting seeing someone dance the moonwalk. Like, I tried. Like, I can be like him, maybe. We're here. We're going somewhere. I really wanted to meet.
I wanted to ask, like, can you dance
I
him?
Can.
Like him. Like him.
I can moonwalk with socks.
Okay. We I can also do that, honey. And provided I've got oil or something that I could, do the
Exactly.
I can
Make it
flex,
smooth.
you know.
Exactly.
It's smooth and make it easy for me to do it. I'll definitely do it. So, honey, aside from that, right? We see that your brother follows your
Inevitable
follows your footsteps. Can you run us through? Was it a household full of musical experiences, or mom, dad, aunt? What influenced
The music.
the music in your family? Because are you the only ones that are doing this, or maybe your younger siblings are doing it as well at this point?
Yeah, I haven't seen those guys in haven't seen them in 4 years. I'm not sure, but it's possible they might be getting there because they watch what we do, what BC Moscow and BC Black Aviations do.
It's the BC.
What I know is, and I've actually heard, my auntie, mom's oldest sister, used to rap. Yeah, she could. she could, and she did before I came here. Like she did, show her skills, and I'm like, okay. But honestly, was there music in the house or something? The only musical aspect that I guess that I've seen my parents involve themselves in is the fact that mom used to sing lullabies. She has an amazing voice. She sings at church. Dad, same thing.
So you really grew up in a musical environment.
Ish.
Your family.
Yeah, you can say so. But I think it was more influenced by the television for me. And that was like at 9 years old. That's when I started I think I want to do this.
Oh, at 9?
Yeah.
And when could you put the words together?
I used to try and do freestyle. I don't like freestyle. I know a lot of people expect or feel that rappers are supposed to be able to freestyle. Okay, if I put my mind to it, I can. I have
Can you do
done
it
it.
before the episode ends?
Aye, madam. What's such that so? We're part 2 of Bee Chanda. That's when I'll come.
Not later.
I shouldn't have even mentioned it.
Yeah, continue.
I've disgraced myself.
No, you haven't, honey. Continue.
So I started writing properly when I was 15. That's when I can say I started writing. When I met some really good friends of mine, Chrysler and Benjamin. I hope you guys see this.
Yeah.
Those are the two, and there are more. Chrysler, Benjamin, another person named Chili Michaela, there's Taziani. Wow. Those, and they're all male. God, they're all male. Yeah. Those are the guys that I don't even know why they actually believe in me. Not that I don't believe in myself, but it's just intriguing when people actually believe in your craft or believe that you can actually do something.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful journey. And one thing that you have mentioned is how important your community played a role when it comes to the development of your skill. You mentioned your friends and how they influenced and shaped and helped mold you into being able to build words and verses, because it can be hectic. I can only imagine the creativity behind getting the punchlines. Girl, I can't. And it's a lot. You just say a lot of words.
Same way I feel about singers. I feel like singers have it so easy. They just have to think of just one tone and then they repeat a sentence. I'm like, these people.
It's hectic. But it's doable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what role does family and friendship play in your success as an artist?
The support. Yeah. Support is really important. I can say But even if maybe you feel like no one believes in you, you're still supposed to have that thing in you that keeps you going. Because at first, when I first brought up to mom, like, I want to be like Michael Jackson, I want to be like Beyonce, I'll just talk. And mom would be like, you just talk. You've never come in front to perform.
Yeah.
You've never come and like sat me and your father down and shown us what you can do. You just say it. I want to see it. And I understood them. They did not take it seriously. They did not take me seriously because I was just blabbing.
Yeah. And how old were you?
11. Maybe somewhere there, 11 or so. Yeah.
I love how ambitious you were.
11 or 12. And I really thought like, these people. And you know that dream of like, man, I'm not going to stay in Zambia.
Yeah.
I want to go to America. That's where I'm supposed to go. So I start performing with these celebrities. And dad would just be quiet.
Girl, I've lived on this earth longer than you.
He didn't comment. And in fact, he promised me that after grade 7, I would go to the States. Grade 7 came around. We went to boarding school. Oh my goodness. Support. My family supports me. When I showed that serious side to mom, like I'm really doing this, I tell her I have a studio session. I need to go and do this song with my friend. Let's go. She'll take me herself.
Wow.
She'll drop me off, go tell me the time I should come. I used to push. At first, she didn't trust the idea. I'm sure maybe she thought like, maybe for now she's just playing, but with time I showed her like I was serious. I did mean it.
Yeah.
And that's where multitasking comes in, because my siblings were born a number of years after later than me. Like Bupe and I, 3 years apart. The rest 14, 17 years apart. Like, so it's like, mom, I need to go to the studio. Okay, nyamulako umozi.
Nyamulako babiri.
Nyamulako babiri. I'm like, but how am I going to do this in the studio? Nima kwanisa bwanji munyumba. I miss my mom. Oh wow. This is why I'm scared of coming home.
Really?
Yeah, mom. Mom is superwoman.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I've mostly talked about her because dad was in the background. He's just been watching. He wants to see where is she going with
That's
this.
you, right?
Yeah, with it. He didn't really. I would try, like, I made this song. He will listen, hey, it's nice. That song is nice. Like, it's supposed to, I don't know, but it's not, I realized, exactly. I realized he's not really into music, but once you put your mind to something and you're serious about it, you're dedicated to it, he will support you in the background. Mom told me he's been listening to Badi Waso continuously. He keeps it on repeat. This is the man who doesn't look at YouTube. He doesn't vibe with that stuff.
Yes.
So friends as well. There are people like you.
Oh God. Hi.
There are friends, my good minions, they know themselves. The good Avengers, even friends at home. They're just like, just continue. No, you should be serious. I like it when I'm told off by my friends. I like it when I'm told off by one of my closest friends, Florence. She's like, there was a point where I was just lacking. She's like, you need to be writing. It was when I came here and it was overwhelming in a new country. You're far away from home and you just have no motivation to write. And you're like, listen, you're good at what you're doing. Me, I would love to see you through. I would love to see you reach your full potential with this. Don't just give up.
Yeah. I think it's necessary. It's necessary to have a good community of friends. Aside from family, definitely they have to play a role. But when it comes to friendship, it's necessary to surround yourself with people that actually share similar values with you, because they tend to remind you every now and then. They keep you accountable, and so they're there to push you and say, "Hey, woman, this you messed up here."
And they'll tell you off. This isn't making sense. Even the way I'm looking right now, I had to pass through Willa's room like Okay, the hair. Okay. Even the what you're wearing, everything.
I love that. I love that for you. And I would love that for so many people to have a group of friends that actually support them and push them outside their comfort zone and just root for them. It's necessary to have people rooting for you because it can be hectic, man. It can be hectic. And so let's talk about the mental aspect of putting yourself out there. The mental aspect, girl. The mental challenges that you have encountered by putting yourself out there. Because literally, people are in your business to some certain extent.
They really are.
What are some of the mental mountains you had to overcome? You know, coming from the critics and coming from yourself. Because sometimes it's not even the people. Sometimes it's you. Like, oh no, Chanda. Just give up. Oh no, Chanda. You're tired. Or like, all those things. How have you gone through that?
I can still say I'm going through it. I'm still going through it as we speak.
Yeah.
One of them, I'll never stop mentioning this one because it's still a problem, but I'm working on it. Criticism. You have to understand that. I need to understand that I am in a space or I'm on a platform or I've picked a career that allows people to tell you what they think about you. Whether they know the truth about you, whether they don't know, whether they know why you're doing what you're doing, whether they don't know what you're doing, people will always talk. Now, before I realized that, criticism will always be there, I had the mentality that just sets me off. Whoever is near me and I've experienced maybe someone telling me something bad about something, this not only craft wise but just
About yourself?
myself, it triggers me immediately. And I may not show it to that person like, what you've said is
I'm triggered.
yeah, I'm triggered. I'll go to my closest and I'll just vent, and that's where I find myself maybe posting different things on my WhatsApp status or on my Instagram. You are very much acquainted. But then that energy, that negative energy, the time you waste feeling like that
And feeding that
emotion, it's not good. It affects so many things. You start comparing yourself. You start demoralizing yourself. You actually now start to, sometimes, of course, criticism is good. You need to hear it. But I guess I want to understand it in a way that, of course, there'll be moments when I'll be heartbroken. I won't like it. But I just need to be mature about it.
And how you handle it.
Exactly, how I handle it. I picked this. This is the life I've chosen. So, I guess I have no option. The only option that would be there is if I want to stop. I just want to stop rapping. I don't want to do this anymore. I get my degree in economics. I get a job. Hasta la vista. That's the only option. That's the only other option. The other option is,
Let me pursue this.
let me pursue this. This is me. This is what I have to offer.
This is what I have to offer. I love that attitude. I love the attitude that you have. That you have towards criticism, at least now, because you have a broader perspective on how to go about it. But let's go back a few years when you were younger, before your perspective broadened. Definitely it affected you negatively. And how did you go through such trying situations, trying moments when you allowed it to get to you? Apart from venting, were you sad? Were you suicidal? if you were. But all those things you get, like, how did you deal with it at a young stage?
Damn. Let's look back. Let's try. In those moments, I did feel like I just don't, maybe I'm not normal. Yeah. I'm not maybe human. Like, why am I feeling like this? Yeah. And why, when you try to like maybe explain it to maybe mom or dad, you know, parents, they won't really they won't click with certain emotions. There's a way that our parents look at my parents. There's a way my parents look at certain things. Yeah. So you're like, why am I feeling so? There's just an emotion that you can't understand it. No one is explaining it to you, and maybe sometimes if I'm actually low and I explain it to maybe mom or something, in that moment maybe she would say, maybe I had someone tell me something bad about myself. It's like, why are you paying attention? Yeah. Why are you paying attention to what this person is saying? They're not important. They won't add any value to your life. Like, she would say that it's true, but in just that moment where you are, it's hard to look past that. So I think I used to deal with it by keeping it. Grudge. I'll keep it there, and it will just stay there until it builds into something ugly.
And something that will not be contained and definitely will affect you and the people around you. And so the reason why I wanted to stress on this topic, on how it affected you mentally, on how you overcame and you're still, going through the process, is that so many people have got big dreams out there. So many people want to pursue so much and different dreams, different goals, different aspirations. But unfortunately, they don't get to do that because of how will people look at me? How will I go about it? And so we tend to live in our shell and we do not challenge ourselves to do better. But hearing from you, somebody who has started the journey, who's going through the journey, and definitely you'd love to achieve more. It's inspiring for you to share your story and how important it is for you to start, and definitely the challenges you're going to encounter, but you need to be determined beyond the criticism for you to forge ahead. And that is something that I've picked up from the conversation, and this is something that I would love somebody out there to take out, that you need to forge ahead. There's no way.
No matter what.
No matter what, you need to keep pushing, you need to keep thriving, even if you will definitely encounter so many challenges, such as your emotional challenges, mental challenges, because it really, really, really plays. You go through such a process, and it really impacts you emotionally and mentally, not even to some certain degree, but it will impact you, provided you are putting yourself out there continuously, especially in a place where you're publicly criticized, or on a stage or on a platform. You will get that resistance, and it's part of the journey.
Yep.
It is part of the journey. So aside from that, honey, can you run us through, or can you give a brief background about your spirituality, or the relationship you have with your spirituality?
This is a topic that if my parents are watching, they'll give me a call. I am Catholic, proud Catholic.
Yeah.
I was raised in a Christian home. Of course, we go to church. When I'm home, we wake up, we go for our English mass, because Madam Chanda here doesn't really know Bemba and Nyanja, but yeah. And I would pray. I know who God is. I know who Jesus is. I can't say I know my Bible like from A to Z, but I have an idea of the Bible. I was baptized. I received the Holy Communion. I passed through confirmation. And all that I can say was, these are all parts of my life that were guided by my parents.
By your parents.
I understood the concept. I understood why they're doing this. It's for the sake, the fact that they love me. They want me to know God in a way that I'm able to understand that I'm not human because maybe they gave birth to me. There is a bigger being, a more important being out there, and I've seen God's presence. I feel God's presence in everything that I do. As I came to Russia, of course, I decided to find a place where I can be going to church, attending mass. I was going for the
Yes, honey.
I was going for the first year, and partly into like after the preparatory faculty, entering first year, I was going. I had my friends from Ghana that were like, these guys were different. They were older and like more mature, and there was just a way that they reminded me of home. And like how mom would wake me up, yo, let's go to church. We go to church, we come back home, we eat, we go pray. Now, I realized something. As I started going to church here, I realized I don't pay attention. But first reading, second reading, I just zone out, which is very wrong. I can say I lost a little bit of focus. I lost focus. I haven't been to church in 1 year. 1 year plus. Haven't been to church. I don't think I pray as much as I used to when I was home. I used to tell God everything. Everything, what happened during my day, what I want, protect my family, protect my friends. It's more like, you can say you understand, but then it's just like, how can I put it? It's just something that is programmed in your head. And then with time, you actually realize like, there's more to this than me going to church, mom asking me to read the Bible, dad asking me, oh yeah, you're going to do the first reading in church, you need to read the Bible. It was just something that's just programmed, like, oh, I'm supposed to do this. Like the way we go to school, we have to, we're born, we're raised, you go to school, you go to college. That's the way it is. I'm not saying like, I'm thinking of leaving the Catholic Church. No, I've just reached the age where I realize there is more to it than just the baptism, the catechism, the confirmation. I need to understand why, and what I'm doing.
What are you doing and who you're praying to.
Exactly.
How mighty this God your parents introduced you to, and how intentional and detailed, concerned he is when it comes to you as a person. You know, the level of God's concern in your life is something you can't even comprehend, humanly speaking, because you have mentioned something that has caught my attention. You say that you used to tell him everything. And do you still do that though?
I don't. I even know I don't. There are times I'm in deep trouble. Deep trouble. No human being no amount of advice
can pull
you out of that situation, and you're like, damn.
But he comes through.
He'll come through.
And he'll do it big.
One way or the other, he'll come through. And I'm like, this cannot just be luck. This is not luck.
It's never
luck. And in the process, you even realize you're not alone.
Yeah.
I may be alone in that situation. Nobody knows what's happening, but he is there.
He's present.
Exactly. I'm always safe. Everything I want, it won't happen in that particular moment, but it will happen with time. I know sometimes I even go like, my parents' prayers have brought me this far. That is entirely true.
Girl, I can testify. Continue.
Like, I feel it. I don't understand it fully, but I know I'm supposed to be now working towards understanding fully that I'm not alone on earth. I need to understand why I'm here. I'm not just programmed
They were
to
robots.
wake up, do this, and what. There's a purpose.
Yeah.
There's a purpose, and there's a bigger being that's looking down and watching my every move, every decision I make, everything I do. So I can say right now I'm in a space where I want to understand and get closer to God. I've always been closer, but it's just like
there's a new level of awakening.
Exactly. There's a new level to it. Like,
true.
I'm not questioning anything, but I just want to feel I just want to feel closer, you know. I want to understand what happens, what I'm doing, why I'm here, where I'm going. How can I get closer to this being? Because if there's something I want in my life is peace.
Yo, baby. Peace. Happy. I love peace. And yo, you make me cry, girl. Even though my eyes are dry. I love how you have just articulated the where you are when it comes to your spiritual journey, because most of us, in as much as we have grown up in church, which is good, which is lovely, definitely it's necessary and it's important, but one thing that we fail to extend in our lives is to continue the relationship with God outside the church building. And for me, when you mentioned that you would tell him everything, I was so intrigued because, girl, I see that you would carry him everywhere. Like, bruh, you're eating with me.
Exactly.
You're doing this with me. You are going to be in trouble with me, even though I don't want to be in trouble. But it's how you shared even the smallest details of your life. And for me, personally speaking, that is one way I define intimacy with God, because I'm out here telling him my business.
Ooh.
It's deep. I'm telling him my business. I'm like, if you don't intervene, for your namesake, I'm gonna be embarrassed, but you have a lot to lose. I'm so vulnerable with him. I'm very honest with him. And I really love the fact that you are intentional about it. You're very intentional such that you want to pursue. You literally shared like how much you want to go beyond the religious aspect of the religion that you were born into, which is Christianity, if I'm not mistaken. So now you want to understand God at a deeper level, personal level, and which is very, very important. Personally speaking, I cannot overemphasize the place of God in my life. Yeah, honey, my story is a God story. Like, I'm a child helped by him. And I'm not afraid to admit it. Yeah, I'm a child helped by God solely.
That's what I love. Because I behind the cameras, I know she look like that. Sincerely speaking, I know. And that's what I love about the energy that comes with you. It's not menace. It's not envious. It's not trying to compete. I just see you as a person that's goal-oriented. You know you're not alone. You can't do it alone.
Never.
You can't. You are aware of what you're doing, what you're into. That's what I love. And sincerely speaking, I can say the last time we had a conversation, that was maybe
on our date.
That
was a day.
On our date. That's when we talked more about like our lives. And I opened up about, I haven't been going to church. I haven't been doing this. And she just told me, even before, you've just been open about your life, how things have been going. And I can say we relate on so many levels.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there's this one thing that's missing in me.
Yeah.
I know it's there, but I haven't like
tapped into it.
Exactly.
And now you're tapping into it. I love the energy, and I love to see it. I love how vocal you are about it, and you're like, I'm on this journey, and I'm going to pursue it. Literally, like that's what I could pick up in how you were articulating yourself and how you were sharing it. It's the way you have set your mind. Like I would run after him. I wanted to say even if he runs away, but God does it. God will never. God will never. Yeah, I love that so much. I loved how you have articulated your journey, your spiritual journey, and how you are endlessly pushing to pursue. Oh my God, the hair. Your relationship with God. So, we know that you're pursuing music as an artist. And aside from that, you mentioned that you're a student. So may you please brief us on that? How do you manage school and being in front of the camera every now and then?
Life. Oh, good. I won't lie. One, at the end of the day, you can say balance. I know a lot of people like say they balance and what, but for me, one of them suffers. One has to suffer in a way.
Okay.
How? There's music, there's school, and there's, I guess, work.
Yeah.
Okay? There was a period where we had so many tests, we had to close subjects because now we're about to graduate.
Okay.
What happened? Work was not so okay. I wasn't concentrating. I was not paying attention because I was always stressed. So you find the way I was performing there was not too okay.
Yeah.
I would try my best. That's where we talked about how like you're under pressure, you're not addressing the fact that you're in a tight spot.
You gotta show up.
Something ends up suffering, and I felt it. I felt like the gravity of the neglect I
placed on your work.
Exactly, on work. Okay. There was a period where I was so involved with like making sure everything was perfect for Badi. Badi was so. And then the school side.
Girl, please. We don't want you.
The school side was questionable because I remember I cleared third year, first semester, like I was on my game, but second semester, no, third year last semester, I cleared it like piece of cake.
Yeah, atlichnik. Like for those that don't know what that means like an excellent student, A student.
I'm not an excellent student, but I'll show up.
Girl, when she says show up, she means getting the 5s.
Okay, that's true. I really put in my game for third year last semester, and then fourth year first semester I was trying to do the music part. It's not like I performed badly in school, but I could tell that
you didn't get the 5s you wanted.
Exactly.
So maybe you landed on a 4.
I just settled.
You settled for a 4.
Yes, because I was like, this is what's important. This is the big deal. And this is what's on the table.
And you're like, oh, okay, my 4, but 4, right?
Exactly.
She's an atlichnika.
I can't.
Right.
I can't say I am the best in all these areas. I can't say that I have found my balance.
Yeah.
But I just found a way of coping.
Yeah.
I'll be very honest about it. I can't lie.
I think in your case, it's a matter of prioritization, right? Like what needs your 80% and what needs your 10% at this
Exactly.
time.
That's how I gamble.
I love how you use the word gamble.
That's how it works for me.
Yeah. And it has really worked for you, right?
It really has.
Oh, okay. So it's a matter of prioritizing what you should do first.
Yes, that's what works for me. I don't know what works for other people. They balance. That's cool. That's I'll try, but
Even at the end of the day, when you actually look at what most people call balance, it's actually just a matter of prioritizing what you're considering valuable at that moment or at that time. And so you tend to focus on it as compared to the other things. And then after that, you go to your next priority, you move on, like in the descending order. And that's how most of us, we operate as people. And at the end of the day, we're like, oh, I'm balancing. And actually, we're just prioritizing.
yeah.
So, honey, it's sad, but we have come to the end of this episode.
It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, it was. I loved it. I loved it. I love the fact that you're here. And
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed having you.
Thank you. I appreciate the invite. I'm waiting for part 2.
You look sleepy.
It's been a rough day. But we're going strong. That's what we do.
We are. I can tell you want to sleep.
I'm just waiting. Take everything out and just be me.
And comfortable. To be comfortable.
Exactly.
Are you be in that moment, really?
Here, right now? This is Be the Baddie.
Be the baddie. Okay, you know what? This conversation will not end.
Yeah,
it will just
won't.
birth another and another and the next and the next. So, with that being said and done, honey, before we leave, what would you like to tell somebody who just wants to pursue a career in music and maybe they're like, oh no, I don't have support, or I'm not sure about this, I don't know how my people will react, I don't know if I can even do it, like the self-doubt. What do you have to say to them?
You never know until you try. You don't want to sit on that idea, that dream for a very long time. You find yourself watching people live your dream.
It hurts.
Certain ideas you have, you had them for a while, you kept them, you sat on them, and you see somebody else doing it.
And it hurts.
It hurts. You never know until you try. That's one. And be humble. Be humble. Be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to what you're doing. Only you know exactly how you want it to turn out to be. Not many will understand in the beginning. It's not easy to get support. It's not easy to make people understand the fact that what you're doing is valuable. You need to believe in yourself first. If you don't believe in yourself first, nobody will.
Yeah, I loved what you have said, and I have learned so much, and that is something that I'll be running with. You never know till you try, guys. So that's a word for you. If you've been sitting on your dream and waiting for an angel to knock at your door, well, a beautiful one just did. With that being said and done, it's a bye-bye from us. See you in the next one. Love you. Bye.
That's all.